Have you realized that you've been manipulated every single day? Ever since you were born, ever since you were a little kid, there's been programs thrown at you, and now all of a sudden they've been ingrained in your mind so much that it's so hard to let go of them, right? And to sort of grasp this concept more, you need to think of your own mind as a hardware, right? Let's say we're talking in like computer terms right here, but take your mind as like a hardware, and whatever people like beliefs and opinions and thoughts people tell you, they are programs. And when your hardware runs on a certain program, it becomes aligned with that sort of program, right? Your hardware runs that program. And so when you are just going out in your life, and let's say someone tells you, oh yeah, you can't really do that, you can't really, achieve that much money per month or that much money per year, because you need to go to college, you need to do this, you need to do this. People project their beliefs onto you, and now you can't do it because you are running on the program that they're running on, right? So that's the reason why it's so scary to take your own step and stuff in sort of the world. And so the two ways that world sort of manipulates you, the first one is simply fear, right? When I was 8 years old, right, I remember going out to play with my friends, and it was like a group of 5 people, and we were just playing football with each other, right? We used to play like 2 hours straight. Let's say it was 4 p.m. I used to come home at 6. And then one day what happened was I was playing, time was good and it was getting dark. So I decided to head home, and I could hear someone's voice just blabbering on and on and on, and it was getting louder and louder and louder. I was like, what guest have we invited? Who is in the house, bro? Because when there's guests, I don't want to be in that room, bro. I want to be somewhere else. Do you know what I mean? So I was literally like peeping through the door, seeing who it was. But it was the TV, and it was news on TV, right? And I remember that same day, it was news about how they're going to drop like missiles in the country of like where with the area I was staying in. And I was scared. I was like shit scared. I was like, bro, I don't want to die. I don't want to die, bro. And the purpose of why I'm telling you the story is because that's been going on for years and years and years. It's been planting fear into us, not just about dropping missiles and stuff, but about climate change, about gender shit. People are trying to normalize and stuff about climate change, gender, and blah blah blah. Like certain topics, like, oh, we need to stand up against racism, but all we're gonna do about is talk about racism and not really solve the problem, right? They're basically talking about problems, and they're projecting fear onto the population. And so when a population is operating in fear, it's more easier to control, right? And so if you can see the chart of vibration right there, that's basically the chart created by Dr. David R. Hawkins, and you can see fear, which is quite low on the vibrational scale. That is because when you are in low vibration, you are much more like contracted. Your energy is not like free flowing. You're just much more like tighter, right? Not tighter as in the clothes you're like tighter, but in the way that your energy is kind of constricted, right? You're just like kind of rigid. You can't really move much. And so when you are rigid, you're more easier to control. And so that's one way the world sort of manipulates you, right? The second way is scarcity. Now, scarcity, I want you to sort of understand this, right? When people are trying to achieve something, right? Let's say, for example, I want to achieve $20,000 per month starting from next month from my business, right? Now, the thing is, due to me being programmed by scarcity, and due to most people being programmed by scarcity, we don't think about, I want to get to 20K, so let me just focus on that. We think about, but what if that doesn't happen? What if I lose that? What if I just kind of just diminished my progress? And what if just everything just kind of flops, right? We focus more on the negative stuff that will happen rather than what we actually want, right? Now, I want $20,000 per month starting next month. So instead of me thinking, I want $20,000, let me just move in that direction, due to the way like people have been programmed, and we have been programmed ever since we were young, we're most likely to think that, what if I lose that? What if this happens? And we're more fixated on the mindset that we will lose stuff, and this what we have already is going to be taken away from us. Now, when you follow the law of impermanence, you know that anything can be taken at any time, and you shouldn't really be attached to something too much. But in a way, that's just sort of the juice of life, right? You're going to be attached. Everything's going to be like you're going to go through all sort of cycles, and that is completely normal. That's how life is meant to be lived, right? I'm basically telling you that When you are in scarcity, instead of focusing on what you need to get directly, instead of, going in that direction, you're more thinking about, what if this happens? What if that happens? What if I lose it? What if someone takes it away from me? What if there's another person and they are better than me? Right? You're focusing on scarcity. You're focusing on, you are not good enough. But you need to understand that these two, they work together, and they are programs to sort of put you in this zone of, I don't have enough, what's wrong with me? And when you mix them two together, that's like mixing poison together. I'm just gonna put I just remember like a clip of Tom and Jerry, mixing potions. So I'm just gonna put that. So right now, I don't really feel comfortable to leave you with this negative stuff that we just talked about. However, you need to realize that once you are aware of what is going on, it's much more easier for you to live, because now you see, oh, people are being this, and there's people doing this, and there's all this like news that you're watching and stuff on social media and stuff. You're not gonna take that seriously anymore, because you know that internally everything outside is trying to plant scarcity and fear inside of you. And so when you see that, oh yeah, I'm having these scary thoughts because this happened externally, now you have the power to, what, this was expected. I expected this sort of attack on me, of this fear and scarcity being pushed onto me. But now I have the choice to look past it and go the direction I want to go in, right? And so to basically understand it is, when you are having feelings of fear and scarcity, what I want you to do is not to run away from them, but to really like face them on the way they are. Instead of running away and wanting to feel more happier, wanting to feel less afraid, why don't you just relax into being afraid? What's holding you back from relaxing into these feelings? Now, when you relax into these feelings, doesn't mean that they will stay with you forever and forever, right? It means that you are placing your attention on them, and due to the law of impermanence, like I mentioned, they're just gonna fade away the more you pay attention to them. Because your consciousness, when you place your consciousness on these sort of negative feelings, the feelings seem to fade away, purely because they are meant to be felt and they are meant to go away, because that is how we tend to function on a conscious level. When you are unconscious, you get clouded by negative feelings, and you are sort of unaware and you let them cloud you. But when you are conscious, you can see them for what they are, you can feel them for what they are, and then you can get back on the task which you have set yourself to do, right? And so I'm just going to leave you with something which I need to mention. You are going to face fear and scarcity in your life, right? Through the people that are in your life, through social media, through news, through just walking and you see an advert. It's gonna tell you, oh, you have the iPhone 15, but have you got the iPhone 16 though? Do you know what I mean? They're gonna have all these ads making you feel like you don't have enough, and there's people gonna be flexing on you and stuff like that. That's completely normal, as long as you don't get those thoughts rampant in your head and they don't run you. Just know that everything is well, and when you're doing your part, when you're doing the part of what your mission is, you are on the right track, right? And so with that being said, if you are a YouTuber or an entrepreneur and you enjoyed this video, you can work with me directly, and I'll just leave like a link in the description which you can check out, right? So with that being said, thank you for